It's time to record. I don't know why I'm in a Backstreet Boys song, but that's cool. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the garage, and today the long-awaited episode, what the hell is the bike underneath the tarp? Now, if you watched the last episode of season 5 to the very end of the video, I actually showed you what the bike is, but don't worry about it if you didn't. We're about to show you anyway. What is the bike underneath the tarp? The bike is secured nicely underneath the tarp. Dun, 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 dun. Serious. A 2009 Ducati Monster 1100. So guys, here we are, the 2009 Ducati Monster 1100. Pick this bad boy up off of Dash Hub. Now, Dash Hub is a new website that is doing some really awesome stuff for car and motorcycle potential purchasers. Now, typically, if you're gonna buy a bike, you're gonna do one of two things. You're gonna go to Craigslist and buy some random bike off of somebody that you don't probably know, and you don't know the quality of the bike or the person. Or you're gonna buy it from a dealer and you're gonna have probably a brand new bike or a used bike, and it's gonna come with a ton of fees. Now you have Dash Hub. So what these guys allow you to do is buy motorcycles, and I'm pretty sure they do cars, at auction, which is where dealers go to get bikes for stupidly cheap, and now you can get a bike for stupidly cheap. So what's really cool about that is you now have the option of getting a bike at a stupidly discounted price, having that extra money, and you can either spend that money on just getting it running and then you have a really cheap running bike, or you have that buffer price and now you can customize the bike to what you want for the price like a new bike would be, or potentially a bike on Craigslist. And I love that freaking idea so much, to the fact that brings me to my next big series that I want to do with you guys, and that is Wrecked Bike Rebuild. So Wrecked Bike Rebuild, what that is a Patreon funded bike build series where I'm gonna take this salvage wrecked bike and not only get it to a running condition, but then I'm also gonna customize it to what I believe the bike actually can be and make it look really sick. So at this point in the video, you're probably wondering, Chase, why are you doing a Patreon funded series? Why don't you just build the bike to what you want it and then pay for it? Well, there's a lot of build series going on with a lot of YouTubers, and they are doing a fantastic job of building these awesome custom bikes for them. And I am in a very lucky position where I already have 2 bikes, like Triumph's letting me borrow bikes. Like I'm extremely lucky to be in the position I am. And having another bike in the garage is not gonna, like, it's just gonna sit here just like my other 2 bikes where I can't ride them all at the same time. So I would get a lot more gratification if I gave the bike away. And that's what's gonna be happening with Wrecked Bike Rebuild. So the way that's gonna work is jump over to the Patreon page, and that's gonna give you all the specific details on everything, but I'm gonna run over it pretty broadly for you. Basically, there's 3 support levels on Patreon. There's $1 per episode, $3 per episode, and $5 per episode. Each individual level is going to give you access to the weekly live stream that I'm gonna be doing, talking about the bike, what we're doing on the bike, what we should be doing on the bike, and what people wanna see. And that way, we have a conversation. We can also discuss how the episodes are doing. It's a very active process where I'm gonna be talking with you guys every single week on Wednesday nights. So you're probably wondering how the whole Patreon thing works, because essentially you could get a motorcycle by supporting the series with $1, which would be pretty freaking awesome. So the way that works is, regardless of what support level you're in, you're gonna have access to the weekly live stream that I'm gonna be doing for Wrecked Bike Rebuild. During those live streams, we're gonna be talking about the bike, what we wanna see on the bike, how the episodes are going, and just general chat about how the build is going. It's gonna be a very active live stream where I'm talking back and forth with you guys, because I actually want your input on where the bike's going. So the different support levels, the $1, $3, and $5 per episode, all that's gonna do is change the amount that you're supporting the series. The more you support it, the better chance you have at me picking your name at the end of the series. Like, I am going to ship it to your house and you're gonna walk outside and the bike is absolutely yours. So I know there's somebody out there wondering what happens if more Patreon funds come in than it takes to build the motorcycle. So one thing that I'm gonna be very adamant about with this series is being 100% transparent with you guys. So first off, I wanna say that I only make money from this series by making the actual videos. I get to go along this whole process of like learning the bike and building it back together and making it this fun thing, and I get to bring you guys along for free. You get to watch all of these videos for 100% free. There's gonna be no charge for that. Building a bike back together is going to cost a lot of money. That is what the Patreon funds are for. If there is more money than it takes to build everything on the bike, then I've got built-in ways of doing giveaways and just giving back that money in fun, creative ways that we'll be voting for on the live streams that we're gonna be doing every week. If that time comes, I've got it figured out. So another question probably is, when am I gonna get charged and how often are episodes gonna come out? I'm gonna shoot for 1 episode a week every Tuesday. Sometimes that's not gonna happen. I'm sure there's gonna be some part that's on back order or something like that, and I'm gonna have to push an episode off for a week. If that happens, you are only gonna get charged when I publish a wrecked bike rebuild episode. And because of that, I'm gonna be taking these series really, really seriously. I'm not gonna put an episode out where I change out one lever. You know what I mean? I'm talking about y'all's money that is gonna be going into building this series. So it's gonna be very serious for me. I'm gonna make sure these episodes have meat and it's very enjoyable for you guys to watch because I take your support extremely seriously, and I'm not gonna be putting any filler episodes out. I'm thinking there's gonna be about 8 episodes, and in that we'll be able to finish the bike. Also, you can totally support at the lowest level 1 episode and you still have a chance to get the bike. So you're not required to support the entire series. If you want to do that, that would be fantastic. Thank you so much for supporting me and doing what I do. But you know, if you just want to get a little skin in the game, you do the lowest support level in 1 episode and you call it a day and you have a chance of getting a bike for $1. It's a pretty good deal. So if you guys are still curious about how the episode's gonna run, think of a home remodeling show with, instead of a host, you have a YouTuber, me. Instead of a house, you have a wrecked motorcycle. And instead of a really fancy film crew, you have a tripod and a camera. I think it's gonna be really awesome. I'm really excited to bring this to you guys. The first episode is actually gonna come out next week on Tuesday, so make sure you go in the description and check out the Patreon page. That is gonna give you access to all of the information and hopefully describe it in a better way if you don't understand it already. I look forward to seeing you guys next week for the first episode, and should be fun. I'll see you guys then. You guys ride safe in the meantime, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.